The PlayStation 5 launched in November of 2020, and in the almost 6 years since its release, you can count the number of true, built from the ground up PS5 first-party exclusives on one hand. We're talking 6 years into a console generation, and it feels like it's barely even started. Now, I know there's people out there who are gonna say, what the fuck are you talking about, Scasm? I play games daily. There's so much to play. And I'm not saying there's not a lot to play. There is tons to play, tons. There are great games that come out almost daily. But tell me how many of them are PlayStation exclusives? Where are the first party games? And I know we got a bunch coming up. We got Saros coming up. We got Wolverine coming up. That's awesome. And I can't wait. But I'm talking about the golden age of PlayStation 4, where we were getting exclusives constantly. Remember PS3? We had Uncharted 1, 2, 3 all come out within the same console generation, and The Last of Us Part 1. I'm talking about the era of PlayStation where it made you want a PlayStation because you were getting those extremely high quality PlayStation exclusives. And it seems like those days are gone. It's become a third-party and second-party machine, where yeah, sure, you get to play great, excellent games, but what makes you want a PS5 aside from a PC at this point? Because really, it doesn't feel like you need one. And now with Bloomberg reporting that PlayStation is apparently pushing the ps6 to 2028 and maybe even 2029, that's supposed to sound like bad news to gamers. But honestly, I think it's probably the smartest thing they could do. Because aside from getting better graphics, what really is it gonna offer us? We're not gonna get games faster. We're not gonna get more games. I mean, we have enough games already. Not to say that they should slow down realistically, but it feels like the PS5 hasn't even peaked. Let's be real. It really feels like we've barely got to see the true power of the PS5 directly from PlayStation. Sure, we've got to experience great games like Alan Wake 2, which is absolutely stunning on the system. Silent Hill 2, stunning. We're gonna get Resident Evil 9. Yeah, I'm talking horror games, but still, these are games that look amazing and beautiful. But when it comes to actual PlayStation first parties, it feels like we've gotten PlayStation 4 leftovers almost. Ragnarok was a PS4 game. Horizon was a PS4 game. Where are the games that are supposed to blow me away? And yeah, Spider-Man exists, but let's be real. There's a lot of times where I think about this, where when I see PS5 and people talk about PS5 as being this greatest console, about how there's a billion things to play, every single time it just makes me think that these people are missing out on PC games. And I don't mean that like PC games are better and that you're dumb for playing console. I don't mean that at all. I think you should play wherever you want to play as long as it's not Xbox, because realistically, what are you doing? But I think as long as you're having a good time playing games, you should play anywhere you want. The more people gaming, the better. But what I don't understand is that when you have a PS5 and you say this is the main place to play and the only place to play, it's not really true. Because on one hand, you're missing all the games that only come to PC, and then on the other hand, the games that you're getting the PS5 for don't seem to exist anymore. I mean, look at me. Look at a lot of people. A lot of people play games on PC and then they also have a console. So for example, somebody like me, I play on PC majority of the time. My PS5 is there for exclusives, which right now it kind of feels like I don't turn it on that much, because where are the exclusives? Where is the reason for me to pull out my PlayStation 5 and get online and play it? Right now, it feels like it really doesn't exist. And there was a time when you were constantly, every couple months, every 2 months, every 3 months, you were locked into your system playing a game that you could only play there, and you were in love with that game. And now it feels like I'm waiting months, almost years it feels like, to be honest. The PS5 had an amazing start. Demon's Souls Remake was absolutely stunning. One of the most beautiful games and still one of the most beautiful graphical showcases that a console has ever had on release. But where's their sequel? Where's the next game from Bluepoint? And that's another thing. The PlayStation 5 generation really was supposed to be something that was much bigger, but it completely fell apart internally. They had this insane drive to develop what felt like 100 live service games, and I know realistically the number is around 20, but still 20 live service games, and now almost all of them are canceled. That's a lot of studios that wasted time on something that will never come out, and now gamers are left wondering, what the fuck are these studios working on and where are the goddamn games? You know what I mean? It's crazy, especially when so many people I know, sure, it might not apply to everybody, but so many people I know play on PC. The second place they play is PlayStation, and they don't turn it on because the only reason why they turn it on is to play the exclusive first-party games, and they don't exist. It's crazy. I mean, like, sure, Ghost of Yotei, excellent game. But aside from Ghost of Yotei, why else did you turn on your PlayStation last year? Death Stranding 2? Sure, and if you were late to play it, it's coming on PC anytime now because it's not a first-party exclusive. I'm talking first-party exclusives, okay? Let's keep that For real. First party only exclusives. Few and far between. And now the ones that are coming out, Zeros looks amazing. Let's be straight up. Wolverine, I feel like it's going to be awesome. Okay, Insomniac, I think you faltered big time with Spider-Man 2. I think this web swinging was awesome, but aside from that, not a great game. Story was a mess, and the combat felt repetitive, and by the end, I was just waiting for the game to be over. But Wolverine does look very impressive. Intergalactic? Where are you, my man? Days Gone 2 should have been a thing. Horizon, you gotta slow down, all right? There's too many Horizon games. Nobody's really interested. Horizon Hunter's Gathering seems like it's probably gonna be dead on arrival, even though the combat does look fun. It looks like it'll be a good, fun game to play with your friends. But is it the game that people want out of Guerrilla Games? No, it's not. And I understand it's the game that they want. Apparently, Guerrilla has always wanted to make a multiplayer Horizon game, and that the goal has always been, let's make multiplayer Horizon. But why is the multiplayer Horizon game looking like some sort of cartoony Fortnite-y type game instead of looking like Horizon? And yeah, I understand you want to separate the Horizon MMO, which is being developed by a Korean developer, and the Horizon multiplayer game, which is developed by Guerrilla. That's fine. But this is not the art style that people want, man, and you should know that. And the internet is telling you loud and clear, nobody wants it like this. I don't even think it looks that bad. I think the character designs are bad. I think the character designs are atrocious, but the game itself doesn't look that bad, and it honestly looks pretty fun. I got an open mind for it. I got open mind for most games. But what my open mind is telling me is that I want more PlayStation games. I want to experience more of what makes PlayStation special, because you know, as a gamer, that PlayStation truly does know how to make excellent games. Their first-party studios are some of the best studios in the entire world. And it's why I bought a PlayStation, to experience more of what they have to offer. And right now, they're not offering me anything. And then when they try and offer us stuff, it's Concord. What are you doing? Fair games. Who gives a shit, man? Give me more Uncharted. Give me Days Gone 2. Or whatever else Bend wants to do, but not a multiplayer game. I know the drive to create a live service game is there because it generates so much goddamn money that you just can't resist. All you see is those dollar signs, and you're chasing those dollars. Because why let Roblox and Fortnite and all these other games on your platform take the money from you when you could have your entire fan base playing a PlayStation first-party exclusive and spending all their microtransaction dollars in that game? 100% of revenue generated goes to you. Would be amazing, right? That's the goal. That's the dream. But is it what the fans want? Maybe, depending on what game you can make. I mean, I'm almost certain that if The Last of Us multiplayer game actually came out, and the way I envisioned that game when they first announced it was that it was basically going to be an extraction shooter. You were going to go into a very large scale map, fight infected and other real people, scavenge for supplies, leave, and bring it back to your camp and upgrade your camp. That was what I've always imagined that game to be. Then they canceled it. But then Arc Raiders came out, and it's like, this is what The Last of Us Online could have been. And look how much money and how successful Arc Raiders is. And this was your chance to make a game like that. And it would have been perfect. And instead, canceled. And you give us Concord. And now you're giving us Horizon Hunter's Gathering. And then you want people to have faith in the future of PlayStation as a place to play excellent first-party, campaign-driven games? You're out of your fucking mind, dude. I think people are honestly starting to lose faith in the first-party initiative because they're not getting the games that they want anymore. And the games that they do want are taking 10 years to come out, man. Where's Cory Barlog's next game? Sony Santa Monica, how long do you need to work on a game? I'm pretty sure Cory Barlog's game has been in development since like 2018. What's the fucking holdup, man? I know games take a long time to make, but let's be real, dude. Come on. I miss the days when people got a whole trilogy in one console generation. And I know that's very difficult to achieve now, but something needs to be done because this is insane. And then you want to force ps6 on us and make us upgrade to a $1,500 console just so that it runs a little bit smoother and looks a little bit nicer, but we're still waiting 7 years for the games? It's fucked. And then there's people like Colin Moriarty, host of Sacred Symbols, and I think the guy's excellent, okay? He's a PlayStation genius, knows everything about PlayStation. And he says there's plenty to play. People who say there's nothing to play on PlayStation are out of their minds. I agree to a point. People who say that there's nothing to play, you're out of your mind. But people who play also on PC and have a PlayStation, there is nothing to play on PlayStation. If you are a mainly PC gamer, there is nothing for you to play on PlayStation. There's literally no reason to turn it on until Zeros comes out. Then you can beat that and turn it off. And then when Wolverine comes out, you'll turn it on again. It sucks. I want a reason to constantly go back to my PlayStation. And yeah, I think their goal is that the live service game would do that. It would pull me to the PlayStation so I would play it every day. But until they actually nail something that isn't Horizon and it isn't Fair Games, I don't think they got it. I don't think they need to rush to a PS6. I think they could wait years, to be honest. I think until all of those canceled games, those studios can now put out real games that are single player driven and campaign driven and story driven and actually good. Until those people can do something, which might be years, might be 5 years because of how much they got delayed with this multiplayer bullshit, no point in doing a PS6. What's the point? Give us good games, give us a reason, then we'll do PS6. But until then, you're just trying to take our money. And I think PlayStation fans and gamers overall don't fucking want it.